Peace, kings and queens. It's your boy Jamaar Milton. I'm in the loop with Ace, B-Live, Big Mont.
Welcome back to In the Loop Radio, yakradio.com. Stream live in that Yak Radio app. Like we promised y'all, we got our second guest in the building. We got a stacked deck today, man. A lot of local talent up in here.
Yes, sir.
You know, these brothers is local talent. Freeport, Cashport, Port Knox, you know what I mean? They got a bunch of names for Freeport, man. But you know what I mean? These brothers here in the building. We got the homie Jamaar. Mr. E is in the building. These brothers, they rap, they conscious. And I'm my man, he was Dashiki, got the medallion on his neck. Real conscious, playing with it from his face and everything.
Like a young Malcolm X, man.
Different energy.
Different energy, you know what I mean? These brothers, they artists. And they not with that all like gangster rap. I don't think they are, you know what I mean? They're not putting up that image. They put that real conscious rap, a message and some content. You know what I mean? Shit we like to hear. They from that golden era, you know what I mean? They come from the same cloth that we cut from. Yeah. You know what I mean? So we here to get it in with these brothers. There's a lot to get into. You know what I mean? So what's going on, fellas, man? First of all, let me ask you this. How long have you brothers been around here?
Oh man, since 97.
7, okay.
Probably actually before that.
I was about to say he over here lying, man. We was in the basement listening to instrumentals that we weren't supposed to be listening
That's
to.
what it started off. We actually started off, we were in the church. And you know, we took a liking to rap and hip hop. Okay. And we started off doing gospel rap. This is before Kirk Franklin, this is before it was even heard of, it wasn't accepted.
Right.
You know, so we were kind of the black sheep of
Got pushed out.
got pushed out pretty much of the church because of what we were doing with that type of music. And later on, it became popular. Now you see it today as being mainstream. But yeah, we were on it well before that. See, what it was is when you have that information inside of you, it has to get out. And we just chose hip hop as the venue to get it out. It was the most popular at the time, and that's what was getting our message to the people that we were trying to get to. So you grow and you gravitate from that, and you learn more. And that's what you see here today. We ended up going into a little bit of the gangster rap, and we went from there to the streets.
Straight to the streets.
Right to the streets. It was just, that's what it was. I mean, that was everyday life. Yeah. And then from there you progress and you learn about what the streets gave you, and then you learn about how the streets came to be, and then you start to progress into how to fix that problem. So that's where we are today. That's what you see as far as the conscious music and the movement that's going on today. It's no different from what you were seeing as far as back in the day with Erykah Badu, Common Sense, you know, India R.E. music, Soul Child. Right. Same thing.
It's good artists,
it's all the same
music.
Thing, and it comes back full circle because it never leaves. It's just that we're providing a balance. We're in balance right now. There's nothing wrong with gangster rap. It's entertainment, right? Like we watch movies, we watch. See what it is. If we watch it coming from the white civilization, it's no problem. We can watch Angela Jolie and Brad Pitt shoot up people all day. It's not a problem, right? But if we do it, suddenly it's changing the culture of the world. Why is that? That's because we are the ones who are the culture. We dictate the culture. So whatever we do, people are going to follow suit, right? And they're going to take it on a more serious level. So what we're doing is we're providing balance. It's okay to have that. It's the yin and the yang. You don't know the one without the other. You can't have good without bad. It's a different type of thought process. It's more of negative, positive, and neutral as opposed to good and evil, right? It's just a different thought pattern. Us as black people, we have special powers that we don't know of. And we are revealing this to the world, to the entire world, and we're giving it free of charge. You know, this is not something where you got to join an organization. This is a community of people that are just giving out knowledge for free. The real knowledge, not the miseducation that you get in school. So it's a little bit different of a thought pattern. So you kind of got to get away from what you've been taught. And it starts with the eating, how you eat. Because we are connected to nature. We are connected to the earth. Our atoms in our body spin at the same speed as everything else that lives, right? So that means we have a direct connection with the earth, the stars, the heavens, everything. So what we put into our bodies will dictate how these things move, the energy that we can move. Now remember, energy is not just positive energy, it's negative energy as well, and neutral. You need all of them together. Like, you ever seen the yin and the yang? If you notice, you have the black and then you have the white, but then each one, the black has a little bit of the white in it, the white has a little bit of the black in it. They work together in conjunction. You can't have a Jay-Z without a Nas. You can't have a Tupac without a Biggie. Do you understand? You can't have a Gandhi without a Hitler. You won't know the difference between the two. So we're trying to teach our generation that we hold that blueprint. We know what the true creator looks like. Not God. God came later. That's a Greek word. We're talking about the creator, the one who creates the gods. Right? It's a little bit deeper. We have that knowledge instilled in us. We have that language, that original language. The names that we have, those aren't our original names. Those are names like, I was talking to my brother the other day, when we talk about Caucasians and their names, you'll find that their names are objects, like things that you see. My last name is Applegate or Roundtree, right? These are objects that were put here on earth. That's not the original language. That came later.
So what's the original language?
The original language, you have to go back all the way back to Sanskrit and speak what the Sumerians spoke. Okay? Even before that, it goes back even further, but we only have what the archaeologists give us. Right? So whatever they dig up is what we take on. And we'll say, okay, is this truth or not? But we only get a piece of it. We're not in control of it. The Caucasians are the ones who control it. They have the power right now. So they're withholding some information from us. And this information is information that can bring us power. It's information that we naturally have, but we've been taught differently. We've been taught that we cannot do the things that we have already done. They destroyed our civilization. They destroyed ancient Egypt and what it did, the pyramids and the things of that nature, and they shot off the faces of the gods, the ones that we had before we got here.
Yeah.
All right. Now, this information is kind of sensitive because we grew up. If you train somebody a certain way, and then now you're telling them that everything that they learn, even if it's good, is bad, that's dangerous. Because now they're going to look at you like you're evil. But that's not the case. Everything that we were taught from beginning until now is not the whole truth. We now know the truth. And now we are manifesting it live and in person in our everyday lives. And this is why you see this movement growing so quickly. It's because we're not touching your ears. We're not touching your physical anatomy. We're talking to the actual person, the spirit. It's different. Like, for instance, let's see this bottle of water here, right? Let's read this for a second. What does it say? Right here.
Purified water.
Purified water. Say it loud. Purified
water.
Say it loud.
Purified water.
Everybody in the room. Purified water. Okay. Now I want you to say that again, but this time don't use your mouth. You ready? All right. Now who said that? Who said that? You heard it plain as day.
Mm-hmm.
You heard it. Who said it? That is who we're talking to. Mm-hmm. The person that's inside the vessel of the body. Mm-hmm. It's a different being. We talk about the third eye, but we rarely talk about the third ear, the second mouth, the second nose, the senses that we don't use. These are senses that are suppressed by what we eat, by the things that we listen to, the sounds and the music. The music that comes out is at 440 hertz. It's the level of frequency for hypnotism and confusion. And they changed this. They knew this. Because this is what's written in those books and those tablets that they stole and that are in the Vatican. Okay? You can control an entire population by the type of music that you put out. No matter how you mix it down, they change it and they change the frequency before it comes out on the radio. Every time you turn on the radio, you are changing the frequency of the world. This is why Michael Jackson is no longer here. This is why Prince is no longer here. John Lennon, because these dudes knew what 528 hertz is, which is the frequency of love, by the way, which is the frequency that the Christ walked in. Mm-hmm. It's a frequency that if you learn how to harness, just by touching somebody, you can bring healing. It's the frequency of healing. But you can't do this if you are whole, unless you are whole yourself. A lot of these pastors out here is claiming to be healers, but they sick themselves. They lying. You can't heal me if you're sick. What would it look like if Jesus was healing people and he was sick? Doesn't make sense, does it? Because your body is the vessel. So it has to flow through the vessel. You have to be healthy yourself.
That's great.
You understand? So we got pastors walking around as alcoholics. After church, they go and they have a drink. Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me and tell me you know God.
So let's take this a step back, man. All right.
Okay.
Now, so obviously you said you was raised in the church, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So when you was coming into this knowledge and you're actually trying to explain this to your family members, explain the type of backlash or how did they accept the message?
Some some people, and I love my family. Like anybody else, I was once there, right? So you got to understand the programming, that how strong this programming is. From the time you are a child, they're telling you Jesus loves you, and they're whipping it into you, and they're whipping it into you. From the time you're a child. When we came here off them boats, they were whipping us, giving us new names, and giving us a new God.
Right.
When you do the research and you find out Jesus' real name, Yeshua, okay, there is no letter J in the Hebrew language till this day. So who is Jesus? That came from the Greeks. His real name is Yeshua. This is where you get Yah and all these. That's their J. Yah, Yahweh. These are all different gods, but they are African gods. Sin is an African god. It's the moon god. They say you are in sin because you are a descendant of sin, who was an actual person, who was an actual being. So they say anybody that Sin and Yahweh used to battle and go back and forth. They used to fight each other. They were competing gods. Okay, so Jesus falls under the lineage of Yahweh. Then you have Sin and the people that come under him, and they were always fighting against each other. Islam comes under the god of Sin. Now you can't think of it in a bad way of sin. It's an actual being. Okay, if you notice, the Nation of Islam, their symbol is a moon and a star. He was a moon god. But this is information you're not going to be taught in school. They're not going to teach you about all the different gods and the lineages and who they are and how they were born. They're going to teach you about the French Revolution, the American Revolution. We know all about the different revolutions, the Renaissances. We know all about them. But we know nothing about our own, because when you start to do the research, you find that they were worshiping us. The angels that they thought were angels, that was us. They thought black women was Medusa. Black women with dreads. The snakes that they thought the dreads were snakes. She was a god. And they said, and she had so much beauty you couldn't stare into her eyes.
That's deep.
That's Medusa, the black woman. Okay, so they reinterpreted everything that we had to make us seem evil, so that they can oppress us, basically, to get control. That's what it all was about. It was about gold. It was about gold mining. This is why you have the gold rush, because there was certain gold back then that you can actually eat. It was called monoatomic gold, and this gold was really, I should say, in demand, because this is how you would channel. It was gold that actually. What's the word I'm looking for? The synapses in your brain. It made them work better at an optimal level when you ingested it. So all over the planet, it was a conductor. It's a conductor. That's the word I'm looking for. It was a natural conductor. It made your organs work better. Everything functioned better if you had monatomic gold inside of your bloodstream. So, and it made you live longer. People were living for hundreds of years, not up to maybe 100, hundreds of years. You got Methuselah, people that lived for hundreds of years. Okay? Now we can barely reach 70, 78 years old.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
And everybody's dying from diseases that didn't even exist in Africa. Where did they come from? They were creating them, they're still creating them in labs. This new Zika thing, they created it in a lab. And they're manipulating DNA. They're creating it to destroy our DNA. That's what they want to do. They need our DNA in order to even live, because we created them. So, back to what you were saying, when I try to explain this stuff, to my, at the end of the day, my parents, they're pastors, ordained ministers. So I know everything about the word.
Right.
So if they're going to try, if anybody, when they try to come to me with that, I already know where it's coming from. I already know the spirit that I'm fighting. I know where it comes from. So I bring them nothing but truth. And that's what my page is about. Nothing but truth. I'm going to post pictures, I'm going to post videos, I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not going to just say it and try to give you a scripture to back it up. Because at the end of the day, even the Bible, the scriptures, the Torah, no matter what you're reading, the Septuagint, all of these come out of the same caves that we find the Egyptian artifacts.
Definitely.
They all came out of the same place in Africa.
Definitely.
So you can't say, I'm only going to take this information and I'm not going to use this information. They all came out the same cave. The Valley of the Kings, the Bible was reinterpreted. Most of the stuff from the Bible was reinterpreted from what they saw in the laws of Ma'at. And they changed them.
Exactly.
To suit themselves. But you got to do the research. Now, the important thing with what I'm saying is if you don't take anything from this, the most important thing that you got to take from this, you can't understand none of this until you actually start to purge yourself in what you do. Because half of the stuff that is controlling your brain, you don't know is controlling your brain, and it's controlling your body. Simple things like just brushing your teeth in the morning. Simple practices. Brushing your teeth in the morning. The toothpaste that you use has fluoride. Fluoride, once it gets into the brain, it attacks the pineal gland. The pineal gland is what we call the third eye. That is what all black people have. All people of melanin have the third eye or the pineal gland. Fluoride brings in calcium, and calcium calcifies the pineal gland, meaning it makes it stop working. It pretty much hardens it. Okay? So every time you brush your teeth, if you're using fluoride or mouthwash, whatever, there's no coincidence that that particular ingredient is put in there. Okay? It's not a coincidence. There's many things you can use to brush your teeth. You can just use baking soda. You don't need why fluoride.
Right.
Okay? Every morning.
It's killing us softly.
It's destroying the black man. Destroying the black man. That's those are quick, easy ones. The aluminum. You buy drinking stuff out of aluminum cans. All of these different metals, they're heavy metals. And they get into the bloodstream. And they calcify the pineal gland. So that you can't operate that way. Brothers, we can actually talk, we can speak to one another from miles away without even moving our mouths. We can operate on that frequency. That's what's happening. That's what you're seeing what's happening with the movement. There's different brothers that's operating on that frequency and we're moving in one motion. This is not me. This is a movement of energy that is building. Okay? Because we're all operating on that frequency. So nobody can take ownership of it. It existed before I got here and it existed after I leave.
Most definitely.
Okay?
All right, most definitely, man. Before we get up out of here, man, for other people that's attempting to get the same knowledge that you're getting, what books would you recommend them to research on their own?
The first book that I would probably say.
So many.
Start with Dr. Sebi. Start with, and you don't even need a book for this. Start off on a YouTube clip of Dr. Sebi. Let me give it to you fairly easy for those out there who don't like to read. I'm one of them.
Me too.
Okay. Because I like to hear the audio, and there's something special about audio because it's a sound frequency. Start off with Dr. Sebi and his eating regimen. Once you change your eating regimen, because it don't matter what you read, you can read all the books in the world, but you will not be able to retain and practice the knowledge that we're trying to give you until you start eating right. Dr. Sebi, learn his eating practices. I went under his diet for 236 days. No meat, strictly fruits, vegetables, and anything that has a seed. God doesn't make anything that doesn't have a seed. If it doesn't have a seed, it is GMO, it is man-made, and it is destroying you. It will not self-metabolize with the body, and therefore it will make you sick. So start off with what you eat. Dr. Sebi. YouTube everything about him. He's the one who cured AIDS. He's the one who cured lupus, cancer, diabetes, asthma. He cured them all.
So why do you think they're not releasing none of these cures out to the public like that?
The Food and Drug Administration, period, point blank. Food and Drug Administration
There's
making
no money
it's a
in the
$1 billion
cure.
industry. Yeah,
No money in the cure, only new medicine, brother.
it's a $1 billion industry.
That's how they get you.
Over 80 plus holistic doctors have disappeared, died over the past year. Over 80 plus. They're taking out every holistic doctor, one after another.
Yo, you know what's so funny? I don't trust doctors.
You shouldn't.
I don't trust them. They be like, yo, go to the doctor. I'm like, no.
Never.
He's just trying to get paid.
Herbs is how you heal yourself, not chemicals. Herbs, natural herbs. Hippocrates is the father of medicine. He taught us that. It's about the herbs. It's even in the Bible. First chapter, first book. But it goes right over our heads. It goes right over our heads. We'll read it and we'll be like, okay. It says herbs is for the healing of the land. I wish somebody could pull that up. It tells you. You know? And it tells you that your fruit is your meat. fruit with seeds specifically, because those are complete in molecular structure. We're creating seedless grapes, all these things that don't have seeds. These things that don't have seeds are not made by the creator.
How they grow.
This is how you get cancer. Let me tell you how this works, because what it does is creates this waste. A little microorganism of waste that can't be taken out of the body. The body doesn't know what it is, right? It knows that it is waste, but it's waste that it can't get out, so it stores it. Now, when you eat other things that are seedless and are GMO, they start to combine with this microorganism. Now this organism needs to feed, it needs to eat, it needs to breathe. What does it feed on? It feeds on your organs. It feeds on your bloodstream, it feeds on everything that's in your body, and then it starts to get bigger. Now it creates mucus and tumors. It gets larger. Now you got cancer. Cancer is a living, breathing organism. It spreads. Right? So if you eat things that metabolize with the body understands it. It says, okay, I can break this down. I got oxygen, I need to send that to here. I got hydrogen, I need to send that to here. Zinc, potassium, it knows where to send everything. But the way they do it, you can't even read half the stuff in here. You can look at some water and it's going to have something in it. Yeah. There's nothing natural anymore.
Right.
It's all man-made. So that's where we're at.
Yes, sir. All right, man. Before we get up out of here, let the people know where to get you, your social handles and everything.
Contact. You can see me on Facebook. See me on Facebook because I'm a real brother at the end of the day. Everybody on my Facebook page, I talk back. If you do email me, if you text me or whatever on the messenger, I will hit you back. And all of my knowledge that I'm putting out there is going to be on Facebook. Jamaar A. Milton. That's JAMAARA Milton. The friends list is full, so you're going to have to click follow. If you click follow, you'll get the updates. And I do purge regularly because I attract a lot of different spirits that I have to filter. So I'm always purging in and out, and I let friends in. So if you do want to get in, I'll let you in, and we'll talk. And if you ever need some knowledge, on the side, if you ever need some books to read, or whatever helps you to get to that next level, that's what we're here to do. We're here to help you ascend, to transcend from where you are and get to that next level. And there's a lot of brothers out there that's like me. You're not alone. The questions that you have, that's an important thing that I want to make sure that y'all know, that you're not alone in this. At first, I thought I was crazy until I started doing the knowledge. And then you start seeing that it's other brothers like you that's awake, that's waking up. It's all written in the book. All the scriptures, it's all written in the book that this is the time when brothers are going to start waking up, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. There's nothing anybody can do about it. Whether you stick with it or not, the movement is going. It's already written. This is nothing new that I'm saying. So at the end of the day, I just want my community and this entire world to network together and to get this world to a better place to where we're supposed to be, our righteous destiny. Our righteous destiny. So check out the music. Actually, you got the record on. Yeah, we got it right. Introduce that. All right, so this is a premiere. The record is called Miss Seeley's Note, and this is dedicated to all the fallen soldiers, Trayvon Martin, Dr. Sebi, all the ones that died in police custody. This record is for them, and it's for y'all. And we're gonna be putting music out that's educational. Miss Seeley's Note. Check it out.
Exactly, man. Thanks again for popping on, bro.